Hey, what is up, YouTube? Andrew Rooney here. We are back for Led Zepp week. We are looking at side one of the debut self-titled album, Led Zeppelin, recorded 1968, released 1969. Now, track 3, scrolling through here, You Shook Me. Now, this looks like it might be a cover because it says here, written by Willie Dixon, J.B. Lenoir. I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Guys, we are just going to look at side one of the album for now. We'll take a bit of a break, give the viewers, subscribers of the channel something a little bit different for a while, and then we will get back into side two when the time is right. I don't know how I'm going to know when the time is right. I'll know when the time is right. When it's time to head back into side two of this album and finish off the reaction analysis series of this first album. Guys, I will be following along with the Drumeo transcription, and all of these resources are available to you as a subscriber of my channel. Link in the description. Go along, use my code, and get a free 30-day trial over at Drumeo. Plenty of time to do a course or two and pick up a whole bunch of Led Zepp, John Bonham, note for note drum transcriptions. It's going to blow your mind when you go check it out. All right, with that said, this is my first time listening to You Shook Me. Let's check it out. Kidding me?
You know you shook me. You shook me all night long. You know you shook me, baby. You shook me all night long. You shook me so, oh baby, baby, please come home.
Oh my Lord, what have I stepped into here? We have got the slowest, dirtiest shuffle that I believe I've ever heard in my life. I did a cover of Rocky Mountain Way a couple of months ago. I don't know when I did that. I thought that was the dirtiest slow shuffle that I've ever heard. This is right up there. Not a lot of drum fireworks again, like track 2 off the album just yet. We are just sitting in this dirty old pocket playing a blues shuffle. If you've heard the term shuffle before and you relate it to certain songs, but perhaps not quite sure what it is, it's just literally what this groove is. So we can have a look here. Bar 14, my cursor's rolling around in there. So we've got eighth notes on the hi-hat, but they're swung eighth notes. So if I played that beat straight, we'd have dum dum ta dum 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 ta dum. But we're swinging the notes, dum, dum, da, dum, 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 da, dum. Using like a jazz feel, bluesy feel, a bit of a lilt, bit of like a horsey gallop in the rhythm. You could think of it like that. So you can play eighth notes straight or swung, depending on the style, of course. This is a very bluesy, obvious bluesy shuffle. So we are swinging those eighth notes. I'm going to go back a little bit because we had this just really nice turnaround. Is this John Paul Jones on the organ? Just this nice little riff, that fill that we had going into verse 1 here. Let's check that out again.
I have a boat that whistle, and I have birds that sing.
Listen to what the guitar and the vocals do here in
And
unison.
I have birds that sing.
Wow, nice.
I have a bird that whistle.
duet call and response thing going on here between guitar and vocals. Bass, organ, and drums really playing a traditional rhythm section role here, and so far just holding things down. Really nice. Just as I say that, we go into an organ solo. There we get a little Bonham Phi, starting to ramp things up a little bit. Classic Bonham 16th note triplets, around the toms, snare. And then right back to business. Who's on the harmonica? Robert Plant? All right, let's just back it up a little bit and have a look at the note density increasing here as the solos are increasing in intensity. So before we only had swung eighth notes on the hi-hat. He was adding in some full triplets, either like a 1 and R, 2 and R, you know, the full triplet, adding in the and. Here he's adding in the and along with more note dense fills. And I see that the fills are starting to pick up as the song goes on. So this is Bonham working through the gears and adding a little bit more dynamic intensity, note density into the drumming, because he's supporting the ensemble. That's why he's he supports the ensemble, makes other people sound good, knows his role in the band. Let's check it out from the start of the solo. Simmering here. Just laying down this nice bed. Triplets on the hi-hat. More triplets. Now we got fills. Quite distorted, eh? And there's fills. So we've got this really slow, lumbering, rolling tempo here, and it can be hard to find your subdivision when you go to do a fill. Try it. I don't know what the BPM here is here, but it must be very, very slow. I'm picking like 50 something, perhaps. Really, really slow. Put on a metronome. Find out the BPM of the song, put on a metronome, play a shuffle on your drum kit. try and play some fills. I guarantee it'll be difficult. People think playing drums fast is difficult. Playing slow just as difficult. You got to really go up quite a few different subdivision levels to find an appropriate fill subdivision that is going to propel the band and inspire the soloist. But it's Bonham, and he does it expertly, despite this being his first album with the group and being 20 years old, 20 when he recorded this.
You know you shook me, baby. You shook me all night long.
There's that guitar and vocal.
I know you really, really did, babe. I said you shook
Oh, come on, man.
me, baby. You shook me all night long. You shook me so, oh baby.
Call and response.
You shook me,
Longest part ever.
all night long.
Trash can ending. All right, track 3 from side 1 of the self-titled Led Zeppelin debut album, You Shook Me. First time listen for me. Not what I expected. Not that I don't expect shuffles from Led Zeppelin, but I don't know. The style there was not totally what I expected. Just a genuine, legit bluesy shuffle. And, you know, we see it with Black Sabbath as well, where, you know, it was the 60s, going into the 70s, and bands were really wearing their influence on their sleeve. I mean, it's just an unapologetic blues song. The vocal stylings are completely blues. The chugging, slow shuffle, bass, drums groove, total blues. And I'm not complaining. It is absolutely fascinating to go back and, I mean, trying to get my head into the mind space of someone who was listening to this album for the first time circa 1969. And I mean, this must have just been absolutely mind-blowing. I can totally see that. Now, we did get a lot more shred chops here than we did on the previous song, Babe, I'm Gonna Leave You. And I only bring that up because this is a drum channel. I'm not obsessed with chops. I don't need lots of chops in the songs, but just noting that there were more here. I mean, this would be a great one to cover, to dig in. And, you know, a lot of these things, the classic snare, tom, kick, that ba-da-da-boom, bucket of fish that Bonham often does. It's almost like he will just chuck it in at any tempo, any subdivision, and just come out back on the one like perfectly. It's like he can chuck it in as triplets or 30-second notes as a hurter, whatever. He'll just fit it in any time, whenever he wants. It's not like a pre-planned thing, I feel like, with him. It's just shred. It's just aggression, really, and attitude. And he'll just throw it in. If he feels like it needs to be fast, he'll just throw it in fast. And it's almost like he lets the subdivision just take care of itself. He's so confident, so supremely confident of his time and his feel that he knows he's just going to land back on the one. Really interesting too, just before that ending, we had that long, extended long last bar before the trash can ending. And there was like a false note on the guitar, like anticipating there was some kind of cue, and there was like a false note on the guitar. And as always, these things sound like a diss in 2022. It's not a diss. I love it. It's music. It's there. It's a part of musical history now. And it just endears me to the group even more. We're in this era now of studio perfection, where that would have just been wiped out of the recording. This is art. This is no different to like Miles Davis, or, you know, we heard on my podcast, if you've subscribed to my podcast, the NZ Drummer Podcast, Steve Picaro, when he was talking about Lukather. He is an artist. It's like having Miles Davis in the studio. He plays something, doesn't matter what it is, you leave it. You want to capture him and his essence. I love that they're leaving all this stuff in. They probably didn't even think about it. It's just, hey, it's just what we played on the day. We're just jamming. We're all playing live in the room, on the floor. And that's what happened. Great. So refreshing. Absolutely love it. Guys, we're going to check out the last song on side 1 of this album next time, and that is Dazed and Confused. I will see you tomorrow for that one. Take care. Ciao.